27 years later, you are critically morbidly obese and can't move. I don't know how people would take it if I'm like, I listen a little bit more to Noom because they're more expensive. So, you know, if you're paying a little more for something, you're going to pay attention to more. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Cleo. If you're not new here, hello, welcome back. A few months ago, I created a video called 7 tips I'm using to lose weight. And I wanted to come back with a part 2, but I wanted to touch more on the food addiction aspect of it. There have been several tips and tricks that I've found online, stuff I've just discovered and done myself. So I just wanted to bring 5 more tips and tricks that I use while losing weight and dealing with food addiction. So the first thing to do when you're trying to tackle food addiction is get some help. If you're like me, you're either too shy and too embarrassed to admit to other people what you got going on, so you try to figure it out yourself, and then 27 years later you are critically morbidly obese and can't move. Don't do that. Don't be me. Although I am so happy that I got on the weight loss medication and I'm doing a lot better, I also took another step and got my mental health checked. I will admit it was for a completely different reason, but after the psychiatrist completely evaluated me, a lot of the things I was dealing with mentally turned out to be tied to the reason why I was having the binge eating, the food addiction. Once I started talking to a therapist and a psychiatrist and got on the proper medications and started doing certain little things that they gave me, I don't feel like I did when I was alone and couldn't move back in LA. I don't think about food as much. I don't feel like food has a chokehold over me. Getting help was the #1 thing, because a lot of the times we don't know where to go. We don't know where to start. So go to the professionals. They'll point you in the right direction. Tip number 2 is learning to put my utensil down while I'm eating. I realize when I eat, it's like a zombie. I'm watching something or I'm doing something and I'm eating, and I just keep thinking I have to have my utensil in my hand until everything is gone off of my plate. And the funny thing is, I never grew up in a household that's like you had to finish everything before you leave the table. It was actually quite the opposite. They were like, Cleo, you know you don't have to finish all that. But in my head, I was like, I have to finish it. I have to eat it. Like, I have to eat everything here. I've been learning to pause. Say we're out somewhere eating in the living room watching TV, like a snack or whatever I'm consuming in the moment, I will put my hand down, my utensil down, and engage with what's going on instead of just eating. I'll have a full conversation. I'll pay attention more to the movie and what I'm watching. And I've noticed once I stop and let things settle, I notice that I'm getting full instead of my brain continually telling me consume, consume, consume until it's gone. My tip 3 is throwing your food away immediately after you know you're full, or putting a lid on it and preserving it for later. Tying into the putting the utensils down, I still have that thought of there's food left and I need to eat it, because I can't waste it, I can't throw it away. There's some instances where you can't really wrap up food or there's only a small bit of it left, but your body's telling you, please, no more. I've been trying to learn how to listen to that voice. Something I had realized is if the food is there right in front of me, I'm much more tempted to finish it because it's right there. But if I take the time to get up and throw it away or put it in another container and save it for later, I'm taking the steps to beating this addiction, to beating the binge. Because unfortunately, this is just going to be a feeling and a thought that I'm gonna have for the rest of my life, but I'm definitely not gonna let it control me. Number 4 is using breathing techniques whenever the thoughts of food overwhelm you, whenever they get too loud. I personally like to do it out loud in deep breaths, usually when I'm alone, because I don't know how people would take it if I'm like in public, you know? Oh, that actually felt good. Whenever you get those thoughts in your head, personally, anxiety starts to build up, and I need to consume or do something to ease that anxiety. The way I don't give in is doing the breathing techniques. And if you have to do it a couple times, a few times, several times until those voices start to mellow out, then do it. Number 5 is something I've been told all my life. I heard it on Noom, which I listened a little bit more to Noom because they're more expensive. So, you know, if you're paying a little more for something, you're gonna pay attention to it more. Anyway, letting myself have the things I want in moderation. Depriving myself of goodies and treats does not help. I'm a binger. It is what it is. When I deprive myself of certain things, I'm going to binge on those certain things. If I see we have Oreos in the house, I'll eat 3 or 4 and I'm fine. Compared to looking at it, telling myself no for days and days, and then that buildup of cravings, like, okay, I'm gonna eat this entire pack of Oreos. The first time I did let myself consume something unhealthy, I did number 2. I put my hands down. I didn't get any more. I let it settle and the craving went away. I just gave that craving a little taste of what it was asking for, and then that was it. A lot of this seems crazy, or it's just like, yeah, Cleo, that's how you're supposed to eat. This is kind of embarrassing to say, but I'm relearning how to eat properly, how to say no, how to, you know, put my forks and utensils down, telling that voice to stop. If you would have asked Cleo from a little over a year ago if I was gonna be 100 pounds down, dealing and fighting my food addiction, and tell her that we don't binge anymore, we haven't binged in months, she wouldn't believe you. If you are dealing with what I'm dealing with, I'm telling you right now, it gets better. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you like my content and you are curious, I have links down in the pinned comment, also at the end of this video, and you can always subscribe to me. I think that is it from me. I will see you guys in the next video.